Chilling with the boys in the park. All right, we're on video number 3 of our vowel finder here. This time, we're going to do step number 3, create the main function that's going to do most of the calculating for our vowels and give us the results that we need for the count of the vowels. First, we're going to create an empty function called getAllVowelsCount, and it's going to have a parameter of value, which is just a string, which is going to be our input string, or our input that the user put in. Okay. 2, we're going to get all of that. We're going to find all vowels in that string and value and store them in an object. We're going to create an object with A, E, I, O, U in it, and we're going to increment each one of their counts so that we know how many of each we have and store it in that object. And last, we're going to output that object as the output of the function. So the function takes in some string, which is going to be the sentence or paragraph the user enters. It's going to output an object with all the vowels and their counts inside of it. Okay? So let's get to it. So this is going to happen inside of our JavaScript file. All right? We're going to create a function. Okay? Const, and this function is called getAllVowelsCount value. Okay? Just like that. So we made a function. We're done with step 1. Our parameter, our input value, our parameter is value here, and value is a string. That's what the user is going to put in, and we're going to put that in when we use this function. Okay. Now we're going to create an object. All right. This object is going to be called Vowels Count Object. Okay. And this is how you create an object. So first you need brackets. So this encapsulates all of the object. And then we make the name of each one of the objects or fields inside of it. So in our case, the name of the first one is going to be A for the first vowel, and its count is 0. Okay. Then we need E, count 0, I, count 0, O, count 0, U, count 0, just like that. And now we have an object here that we can access each one of these fields inside of. So we could say, you know, console log a val count is, and we could do vowels count object dot a, like that. And this will output to the console how many of the A's that we had. Okay, so we'll leave that at the bottom so that once we do the calculation, that'll output something. We could also just take this out and put vowels count object, and the console will print that entire object for us filled out when we have it filled out. So let's go ahead and do the actual functionality of this. So this is the hardest step. How do we get the count of all the integer, all the vowels inside of a string? So we're first going to make a for loop, okay, and iterate over every single character in the string. So for let car num, so the character number that we're at, we're just calling it car num, doesn't matter, it's equal to 0, so we start at 0. Our car num is less than. Now remember, what is our function called? I mean, what's the string called? Value. Well, it's less than value dot length. We've done that before. Get the length of a string. So while the character number we're on is less than the length of the strings. Okay. Car num plus plus. Okay. Now inside the for loop, we're going to create if statements. So the first if is going to be if val. Well, actually, what we're going to do is create a variable where we're going to store the character that we're on. Okay. So let current character, okay, current car, whatever, be equal to value dot get. Now I don't remember what this is, so I'm going to go and look it up. And I already did. How do I get the character of a string? So here we have a string, hello world, and you can see they took the string and did car at 0, and this right here will give us the H, okay? So we just need car at right there. So let's do that. Value car at, and what character we're at? We're at car num, okay? So car num, yeah, like that. Now current car has the current character we're iterated on, okay? And we're gonna do if, okay, current car is equal to a in this case, can't find it. Okay, we're going to set the a field inside of the vowels count object. We're gonna increment it 1 extra, so it's no longer 0, it's now 1 if we get an a. So we'll do vowels here dot a equal or plus plus. Okay, just like that. We also have done it like this plus 1, just like that. Doesn't matter, either one. Incrementing it up. Okay, so now we just have to do the same thing for each one of the vowels. So I'm going to quickly A-E-I-O-U, okay, E-E-I-O-U, okay, so now this should get every single one of the vowels and increment them in there. Okay, now outside of this for loop, so there's the end of the for loop right here. Okay, we are going to output the console log of the vowels count object so we can see what it looks like, and then we are going to return the vowels object that we created. Return it so someone can go and use it. So let's get rid of this actually, okay, and do it later. So let's just use this function. So here we have this whole function. I'll close it down real quick, okay, or I'll let it stay on the screen for a second so you can get a look at it. Okay, there it is. Okay, close it down, and we'll actually call this function on some random string. Let's do this string. Hi, I'm Adam. Just like that. Okay, and we'll set that to a variable called vowels. Okay, now let's output that vowels object. Let's see what we get. Okay, there we go. Now let's go do it in our console, or in our website. And there we go. Right there is our object. We can see it looks very similar to what we had right here. We had vowels count. See, it has these brackets, and then it has each one of these brackets. It's just on one line now. A4, E1, I2, O, U. Okay, there we used the function. We just used it. We just put in some string, entered it in there, and output it into vowels, and then we printed vowels out right there. Okay, that has been for video number 3. Please watch video number 4. Sorry, it's been so long of a video. 4 should be pretty fast. AG.